it's Nicole here, and I'm back answering another one of your questions. Today, somebody asked me about punctuation, and they said that they've never really learnt the correct pronunciation that we use in the English language. Of course, they know the full stop and the comma and the question mark and the exclamation mark because that's the same in their own language, but they're really unsure about the other punctuation marks. I thought that was a really good question, and I wanted to answer that for you all so that you can all benefit and just make life a little bit easier so that you're not stressed about punctuation or you're not avoiding using punctuation. Punctuation's really powerful, and if you do a lot of writing, it's so important to include punctuation. You know, it's like the sound of your voice. When you're speaking, people can hear what you're thinking or your emotions, your feelings through the sound of your voice. It's impossible to do that in writing without punctuation. So we need to use punctuation when we write. Don't avoid it. It helps people understand what you want to say when they read your writing. Whether it's an email, a letter, a report, an essay, it doesn't actually matter what you are writing. The most important thing is that you use punctuation to bring across the meaning that you intend. So look, there are 12 main punctuation marks in the English language. It's a lot. I'm not even sure if I use all of them. Obviously, the first one is the full stop dot. And this marks the end of a sentence. So my name is Nicole, full stop. Easy. I think you all know that one. The next one is a comma. And a comma really joins, or I suppose separates is a better word, two parts of a sentence. So if you're listing ideas or if you're connecting two ideas together, you put a comma in between them, and it's just so that when you read it, you have a little bit of a pause. So you might say something like, when he came home from work, comma, he immediately cooked dinner. So there's two separate phrases or clauses, if you want to call them that, which both have a noun and a verb. We connect it with your comma there to show the, what should I say? To show that they're two separate ideas. They can live on their own. They can work on their own. However, when we join them, we separate them with that comma. There's also what we call a colon. And a colon is where there's the two dots. Not just a full stop, but another dot above it. So two dots like that. So you might say that this introduces text in a sentence. So, for example, you might say something like, he was only interested in one thing, dot, dot, colon, passing the exam. So look, it really gives you a longer pause. It shows that something important is about to be announced, I suppose. And it introduces that important text, that important information in a sentence. Then we have what we call ellipsis. An ellipsis is where you've got the three dots, dot, dot, dot. So not just a full stop, but two other full stops next to it. And that represents an unfinished sentence, a sentence that has not been finished. If you're doing creative writing, it can also signify that you've taken away a piece of that text. You haven't finished that sentence because you want the reader to think about it. So it's quite powerful and quite effective when it comes to creative writing. However, we do use it in other situations as well. Just to give people time to think, I suppose. Think of it as three full stops. Stop, stop, stop. We think for that long. So In a piece of writing, you might have something like, everything seemed perfect, comma, but then, dot, dot, dot. And you have to imagine, oh, what's happening next? Next, we have what we call a semicolon. And that is where you've got like a full stop and a comma underneath it. And a semicolon basically joins two clauses together. Two main ideas together. It is similar to the comma, I suppose, but it's more thinking time behind it. And you're introducing, again, something that's a little bit more important. So you might say after something like, he ran after the cat, semicolon. It had run up the tree, full stop. So in that situation, again, there's some more urgency, I suppose. There's something more surprising or important coming. So you're waiting a little bit longer when you read it out loud than you would with a normal comma. Yeah, that's the semicolon. We also have an apostrophe, and you know that an apostrophe comes before the S to show ownership or possession. So this is Nicole's book, or the dog's collar went missing, something like that. Then we have what we call a hyphen, and a hyphen is simply this little dash in the middle of the line, and it joins or separates words, I suppose, or parts of words. So you use it with something like, oh boy, I can't think of an example. That's not very good. Single-minded. Can you see how there you've got your two parts of the word and you're joining it together? You've got a hyphen between it to make it one adjective in that situation. Yeah, I cannot think of another example. I will write one in the comments section. My apologies. We also have what we call a question mark. I think you know what that is. It's to indicate that you're asking a question. So, at what time are you coming home? Question mark. Did you remember to bring the ice cream? Question mark. Something like that. Then we have obviously your brackets, and your brackets are giving additional information or hidden information, something that is not necessary, but you're adding it to help the reader, I suppose. So for example, you might say, the dog, brackets, named Charlie, brackets, ran onto the road. So it's really extra information, you know, it's not needed. You're just giving that extra piece of information that somebody might find useful, I suppose. I use brackets a lot when I'm giving extra information just to make my sentences clearer, especially with longer sentences when people have got a lot to read. We also then have your inverted commas that go around the direct speech. So when people are speaking and you're indicating that they are speaking, you put do at the beginning of the speech and do at the end of the speech. Yeah, that's all. We have our exclamation mark, obviously. You put that at the end of a sentence to show surprise or excitement, something surprising, something you're not expecting. Obviously, when you read it, your voice goes up and shows that surprise or excitement in your voice. It can also be used to show danger or anger. You could say something like, "Come here now!" And you've got that exclamation mark after it. But I think exclamations are the same in every language. And then you've also got your dash. your dash in the middle of the sentence. Similar to a hyphen, but a hyphen is used when you're joining two words together to make an adjective, whereas the dash really gives that extra information again. Think of it like the brackets, I suppose, but it's not hidden information. It's information that is needed as part of that sentence. Yeah, so I might say, the cat, dash, very pleased with itself, dash, drank all of the milk very quickly. What a silly sentence. But you get the idea. So there are your 12 punctuation marks in the English language. That was a really long video. I apologize, but there were 12. So you've got your full stop, your comma, your colon, your ellipsis, your semicolon, your apostrophe, your hyphen, your question mark, your brackets, your inverted commas, your exclamation mark, and your dash. I hope that helps. Write some example sentences in the comment section below and I'd be more than happy to look at them for you. Have a wonderful day. Thanks for listening. Bye.